The room was insane. I've never stayed in a room like that. I just remember hearing them scream and bouncing on the bed, and it was pretty cute to watch them get goofy.
Oh, is that what you're wearing? I feel overdressed.
When we got to our hotel, I think we're all just like kind of amped up because we just rode through that storm. We're getting to a place where we could change out of our clothes and like relax. I think everyone was like feeling high on life at that point.
I knew she was a witch.
I think that's my favorite part about all of us traveling together is we all just like really enjoy making jokes and like strengthening the web of like our friendship basically. And it's really cool. I love them all.
Would it be possible to get some robes for 942? And some slippers? Thank you.
The Moto Maidens. It's the 5 of us with this lust for life. The only way it can be quenched is on a motorcycle. Come on!
I knew something was very wrong.
Oh, Jesus. We pick one state, take off on 2 wheels, and whether it's national parks or businesses, we try and explore all that that state has to offer.
Moto Maidens in their natural habitat.
And meet the women along the way that make that state beautiful.
The Maidens are life. I'm never one to be like, this is sisterhood, but it really is.
What in the rat's nest did I do over here? I have like a rat king going on. Do you know what a rat king is?
Rat king?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Like when
They all pile together, right?
when all the rats, like, it's like a kind of a phenomenon. Like they get their tails tangled up into a huge wad. That's what's happening right here.
It's bizarre, yeah.
I'm rat king. I'm so excited for the airboat. Oh, and the gators.
We're all really excited. We're going to an indigenous-run airboat company to see some of the ancestral lands and talk about the plants and like the nature that's out in the swamp there. And we're needing to be there at a certain time.
As we're turning to go on the main stretch, I'm behind Zoe, and I look over at her left foot, and she's trying to shift.
I just felt like my clutch went out of complete adjustment, like I had no control over the clutch anymore, and I was like, weird. Sabrina was behind me, and Amanda started honking. I knew something was very wrong, so I pulled over.
So I look at her bike, and her chain's off. And it's close to her tire. And that's f***ing terrifying.
What happened? What came from? The chain's f***ing off, dude.
I've never had a chain snap, and that is pretty scary and can be dangerous. Dude.
I'm glad you're all right.
Yeah,
That's scary.
that is scary.
Without the chain, you can't ride at all. There's absolutely nothing you can do. You're at a standstill.
Her chain came off.
Zoe's chain, one's not like mine where you can zip tie it. You can't zip tie a chain back on. At this point, we had to make a decision.
We can take my stuff off, you can ride in the back, we can come back and fix the
Yeah.
bike so we don't miss the boat tour.
Yeah.
We can hide it. There's a little gap right here, we can
Yeah.
put it here. We don't have time to come up with something else, so let's do this.
We ain't gonna miss this goddamn boat tour, I'll tell you.
We got a
what.
boat to catch.
We just kind of had to leave your bike on the side of the road. Tucked it in somewhere
We're gonna do the boat tour, and then we're gonna get these bikes fixed.
and hope nobody else will pick it up.
Permission to board. Captain,
Permission granted.
get my little pig down.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, Fraser, you ready? Almost.
Oh, I'm worried about my bike.
We'll come back for...
Nobody takes it.
We're in Florida. She's got a badass chopper. I really hope someone doesn't steal it. I'm there for my homies. Like, I'll take any of those girls anywhere, and I always take a passenger. And if I could try to, like, lift her spirits up, because she's a positive energy warrior as well.
Let's go!
We're on a mission here. Ain't nothing getting in the way of this.
Hello, how are y'all doing?
Thank you for having us.
I'm Betty Osceola, I'm the owner
Nice to meet you.
of the Airboat Tours.
Amanda. Nice
And I'm
to
actually
meet
going to be your captain today.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. I was interested in your bikes because I also ride. I'm like, these are cool bikes. Yeah, I just like to enjoy the scenery and ride. I went cross country a couple years ago.
You went all the way across country.
I went up to Sturgis, to Colorado, to Arizona, New Mexico, Texas. Came down I-10 through Louisiana and back all the way down here.
That's amazing.
Yeah. It was only supposed to be like a 1 week trip turned into almost 4 weeks.
That's how it always is.
Right, oh, I'm here. Let me go to the Grand Canyon. I'm here. Let me go over here.
That's the best.
You know, I'm here. Let me go to Texas, closest to the Mexican border, so I can get some authentic tacos. Let me-
When Lex found this place, we had no idea that she also rode motorcycles. So finding out that she rode was just like, you know, icing on the cake.
I really got back into motorcycles. I lost my husband about 5 years ago. And my son was like, Mom, to get out, why don't you just get a bike? You were talking about it when Dad was alive, just get one and let's go. So I started riding with my son as a way of therapy to get over that loss.
That's beautiful. It's so healing.
We all have our different forms of self-care, and riding motorcycles was one of them. If I didn't have these trips, I think that mentally I would be a very different person.
It was just the relaxing and the scenery and just not thinking about anything but, you know, just what you're experiencing. All right, well, if you're ready, let's head on over to the airboats.
Yeah, right?
Let's go.
Just going out there, it's just a moment of feeling at peace and no worries. It's an amazing experience.
I'm sorry we scared you.
All right, here we have the American alligator. In Florida, we have both crocodiles and
I
alligators.
told my brother that and he didn't believe me. God.
I don't know if she'll come here. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh, oh. See, she's kind of a little skittish today. In the water, they can swim about 15 to 20 miles per hour. and on land as fast as a small horse.
It's so crazy.
So
they go that fast on land.
They can hold their breath under the water. One time we timed one of the alligators just to get an idea to be able to tell our guest, and we timed that alligator. It was under the water for 6 hours.
Wow.
And it never came up. It was a larger gator. So they're very interesting creatures. So since it's really warm and the water is lower, a lot of times the gators might stay in the water to re-moisten themselves because they don't sweat. So they have to use that water and the sun. Just like when it gets really cold out here, you'll see them laying around in the sun to warm up.
Have you ever been chased by one?
No, and I don't want to either.
I don't blame you.
I had an uncle that wrestled alligators, and he was cool all the time.
He still works.
Right? We're gonna ride around some more. Let's see if I can find some gator babies.
Gator babes.
Gator babes.
I love them so much.
I do too. I love alligators.
Oh my God. They're so cute.
Right? They're so cute. Makes you want to pick one up and put them in your saddlebag there.
Get in my saddlebag.
Right?
Is that the mama one over there?
Yeah. When they're this small, they'll stay towards the grass for their safety. But right after they're born, they're dependent upon themselves to get their food. See, but the babies aren't crying out scared. You see how one is coming close, because here comes mama. As long as the baby doesn't cry, we should be okay with mama here. It's usually the first 3 months of their life we have to be more careful because the babies aren't used to the noise of the airboats. So once they start crying, mama does get vicious, even though she knows us.
I mean, understandable.
Yeah.
Is there like a specific scent that they do gravitate towards?
Blood,
Blood?
just like any predator. So a lot of times if you have women in the boat, and if it's during that time of the moon, they'll sense that. Just like any predator, they're gonna. Okay, it's your fault. Okay.
Stay on that side.
He's like, film this side.
I'm coming for you, Colleen.
She's like, I didn't sign a release yet.
Here we go. This is the part of the tour that we like to show people to give them an idea of how we used to live. William Buffalo Tiger was the very first elected chairman of the Miccosukee people. Before we got our federal recognition in the 1960s, he was one of the few Miccosukes at that time that spoke English. Because as a child growing up, sometimes his family lived in tourist attractions. So he learned how to read and write English. So when he got older, our tribal elders asked him to be like an interpreter for them. So when the tribe was pursuing their federal recognition, they used him as that liaison to help communicate with the attorneys that were helping them. We played a very good hand of poker to get our federal recognition.
It's so important that we don't overlook these tribes and we don't forget that these people were here before anybody. This is their land.
I'm fortunate to live out here because it helped us for a longer period of time not to have that connection with other people. So our language and our culture we had the ability to keep it more intact. You know, I went to a public school, but I grew up in a time where, my grandmother didn't speak English and everything she ate was we had to find it or grow it, which is a different existence of our younger people. But our tribe does make the effort in our school, which is accredited. It's bilingual, bicultural. so that, you know, teaching the language and the culture simultaneously with the other subjects is what we do. And other tribes, I understand, are trying to go that route.
I think it's great being able to continue these traditions and educate. Oh, I did have a question about the totems.
These particular totem poles were gifted to me from one of my late uncles who carved them. And for us, I don't know about other tribes, but for us, the totem poles is to keep off the bad spirits or juju. But we believe that it has the spirit of what you're carving. So you have to have the right intention, because carving a totem pole, if you don't do it in the right way, or if you don't respect it in the right way, it can bring bad luck on you. So not everyone can carve a totem pole.
Sort of like backfire a little bit.
Yeah, it can backfire. The structures that you see here are our traditional form of housing. I actually my house has that type of roof, but it's a little bit more modern that I have walls. And, but you know, growing up as a kid, this is how I recall growing up. I learned how to cook over an open fire, learned how to prepare turtle, deer, all the game. So before you had electricity, if you did get deer or other game, we used this like a smokehouse. We would actually hang the meat off the rafters here, and every day there's a fire, so that smoke is curing it so it doesn't go bad, and they would just cut a little piece off to make soups, or they might actually strip the meat down and let it dry in the sun like jerky. This here is a corn pounder. So as a kid, I used to want to help my grandma and them because I thought it was cool. But after a while, it's not cool. It's like, Grandma, can I stop? When it's all day long.
I have regrets.
Yeah.
Betty was probably one of my favorite parts of the trip. She was so knowledgeable. I'm really grateful that we're all connected and we experienced that together.
This is a custard or swamp apple tree. At different times of year, it gets that custard apple on it. It's ready to eat. It's orangey in color.
I bet it's delicious.
Her picking like the custard apple, like those little petals off of it, you know, and just handing them to us and like getting to smell that and see these beautiful colors. So it was really just special and a moment that, you know, I'll never forget.
And curious about like the plant medicine around here too.
This here, we call it alligator shade. This is a natural form of a laxative for the root. So they usually make a tea out of the root and drink it, and it's awful. It's god-awful. It's a god-awful taste. But it like, you know, works very well.
Efficient.
Here, you know, the willow, you can take the bark, put it under your tongue. It's like a natural form of aspirin.
Yeah, I use that a lot. I make like little pain tinctures, and I always use the willow bark.
Yeah, or you can make a tea with it and drink as well. I prefer it as a tea. The rule of thumb is a little bit goes a long way.
I started getting a little emotional because she reminded me so much of my Granny Max, who was like a swamp mama to the T. Like they spoke the same, they kind of looked similar, and I lost her right before COVID. So it was really special because I kind of felt like I was hanging out with my Granny Max all day. And she would have loved nothing more than to take a airboat ride. That's what she did.
I love nature. I feel so much better
Being
out here
Oh yeah.
for a couple hours.
This is the best possible Everglades experience that we could have.
Thank you for doing this for us. I loved every second of that.
Going out on the boat, surrounded by beautiful nature, the wildlife, the birds that were there. It was very beautiful.
It definitely a few times, like, it got emotional just being out there, the beauty of it all, and just seeing so many of these creatures in their natural habitat and just completely unscathed by humanity and the ugliness that it brings.
A couple motorcycles like rolled into the parking lot and we could see them from where we're sitting on the airboat.
See, they saw your bikes and came back.
I know that's it.
They're like, what's going on back there?
I like your bike.
They say they like your bikes.
I know, you got a chain in
Y'all got a garage with a chain? Sirs.
Do you have a garage nearby? My bike is broken.
What kind of chain? I mean, my son is friends with Evolution Performance. And there's Getty's Garage that's doing my bike.
Yeah.
And what was the bike?
I have it's a Ironhead Sportster.
An Ironhead
So
Sportster.
it's a 1976 40. And I mean, I think it's a 530 chain.
Wait, hold on. Hey, quick question. Would your friend Dawn be able to find a chain for an older bike? You said an Ironhead?
Yep.
76 Ironhead. They snapped their chain. Dawn may have it? Okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Hey, Dawn, this is Neil's mom. How are you? I'm doing fine, but I'm filming with a group of ladies today, and one of them snapped their chain on their bike. I'm gonna put the young lady on the phone because it's her motorcycle, and she can tell you exactly what she rides. Hold on. His name is Don.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Hi, Dawn. It's a 1976 Sportster, 530 chain, and my chain snapped on me this morning.
Hold on one second. Let me see. The possibility I might have one here. Okay.
We were having this incredible experience, and like in the back of my head, I'm just like, please no one with her bike. I just wanted to haul ass and see if her bike was still there. And like I have that pit just in my stomach of like, did I up?